Hey guys, I'm so excited to share this video with you and just kind of my experience about something new that I just tried recently. If you've watched any of my other videos that I've posted here on YouTube talking just about different things, a lot of it is kind of either alternative wellness type things or fitness things or interviews with people just kind of in the health and wellness and fitness community. So I wanted to share this video about my first acupuncture experience. I know lots of you are interested in how it works and things like that, so I'm going to hold off on kind of a result video just because it was my first time doing it, and this video is just more to kind of share what that first time experience was like. If you're thinking about trying it, maybe what you could expect yourself. I know all acupuncturists practice just a little bit differently, but this is just my experience, and then hopefully I'll get to share in the next few weeks kind of how it's helped me, but then of course I'll share how I feel today. So yesterday, well, let me back up. So I have always been a huge supporter and believer in acupuncture. I've just never tried it for myself. So part of the reason I wanted to do this appointment is just so I could be able to possibly refer this type of service to clients. And acupuncture treats a myriad of things, so which I think is amazing. And if something can save you from a trip to the doctor or taking medicine, then that's personally what I think, what I believe in, and what I like to share with people who work with me. So my husband actually tried it first, and he really has enjoyed it. So I got the information from a friend, got him involved. He's really enjoyed the results that he's had, and you know, he told me a little bit about his experience, but everyone's experience is going to be different. So this is just my experience. The office that I went to was, as soon as you walked in, it was like so calm and peaceful, and it smelled good, and they had hot tea and really soothing music, and there were soothing colors. So all those things are important for me when I go to visit any type of medical facility. I hate hospitals. I don't like going to hospitals. I don't really like ever going to the doctor unless I just truly have to. And that's just a personal thing. To each their own, but that's just how I feel more comfortable when that setting is peaceful, and kind of the aesthetics too. It has a lot to do with, I think, how your body receives treatment as well. So got to the office, I already had my paperwork filled out, which is just what you would expect. There's a consent form, there's paperwork just detailing what you're coming in for, what you're hoping to get out of acupuncture, your health history, medical history, things like that. Pretty much standard for any type of doctor office visit, but just a little bit more detailed about specific areas that you were looking to treat. So I don't really want to get into a lot of my treatment areas as far as like super detailed, just because everybody is going to be different, and you may want to try acupuncture for something that's different than what I would am trying it for. But just so you kind of have a general sense of what I'm hoping to get out of this, just from years of training, and probably the things that I tell my clients to do that I'm probably have not really done enough of, like stretching and really my own kind of like self-care. But that's just part of sometimes being a fitness professional. You don't always put yourself first. So I have had some tightness in shoulder areas, and then I've been experiencing some tightness in one of my hips, and then also just for general mental well-being and anxiety. And also, many of you probably, if you follow me on social media, know that I deal with hormonal migraines. So that's something I wanted to touch on as well. So truly kind of a myriad of issues, but that just shows you how wide the scale is for what acupuncture may be able to help you with. It could be physical, just from, tightness in your body, soreness, pain, and then all the way to mental and emotional health. So likely touching on that, which I detailed in my paperwork that I gave to my acupuncturist. So we go in and usually, like I said, everybody is different, but what I did probably could have done better is wear loose clothing. And so I had been training all day and I had brought a change of clothes and then I forgot to change into it. But, loose pants, loose top, because when they put the needles in certain areas, it just makes it easier for them and it makes it easier for you. If you're not wearing super tight things like I do 80% of the time. So we sat down and we just went over the paperwork. She asked me a lot of questions about some of the things I listed, just some more like detailed information, more than what was on the paper. And then kind of just got to know each other a little bit. And then she explained how she practiced, a little bit about her background. And then there was a time for me to ask any questions if I felt like there was anything that I didn't get answered. The room was very, like, again, going back to that aesthetic, there was an ocean sound and it smelled good, but not in an overpowering way. She did mention that a lot of people have scent sensitivity, so probably a lot of offices don't use a lot of smells, just since a lot of people do deal with that. But it just smelled very relaxing, so not anything that's overpowering. It was very dim. She had a salt lamp in there, and then just a bed that you would have at a regular massage therapist office. So she had a heating lamp as well, which I'll get to that in a second. But once we chit-chatted and kind of went through what areas she was going to treat, and asked and answered questions, and she left the room, let me change. I had a robe that I was able to put on since my clothes were not really conducive to treatment that day. And then I just lay down, and there was a pillow under my head and a pillow under my legs, which was very comfortable. And then she came in and was super detailed and informative about where she was putting the needles, what it was for, which one of the things that I was asking to be treated for, where those points were going to work on. And as far as, I'm not someone who's afraid of needles or anything like that, and I probably don't have the best pain tolerance, but it was not super uncomfortable. There were a couple of places where she put needles that just felt like a little bit of a prick. But nothing that made me jump or made me uneasy. And then some of them, when she put them in, I didn't feel them at all. So I don't know how many she put in, but they're very, they're so thin and tiny that it wouldn't be what you would think. It's not like if you go and get your blood drawn type of needle. It's something that's a lot thinner and smaller, and just very minuscule. But it's crazy how just those little tiny things can make such a big difference for so many people. So once she got all the points in and she walked me through every single one before she put it in, she told me. So I felt very comfortable, very prepared. I knew exactly where she was going, what it was going to be hopefully treating. So once she did that, she asked me if my feet were cold because my feet were exposed, and she has a heating lamp. So I don't know if other doctors' offices have that type of thing, but I thought that was really nice. So she turned the heating lamp on for me on my feet, and then turned some of the lights out, and then left the room probably for about 10 minutes. She came back and checked on me, and then I was in there for another 10 or 15 minutes. So it wasn't a super long amount of time. She said a lot of people fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep, but I was able to rest. Just my own personal experience, I didn't feel a whole lot of sensation. I felt some heaviness, but really just a general sense of relaxation. So nothing really out of the ordinary, nothing really strange. She did do something on my shoulder that she called a trigger point, and that was probably the most unusual feeling. So when the needle went into the spot that she placed it in the muscle, there's a technique that they do where it basically unknots the knot that's in your muscle. And it feels really weird. And when my husband had this done, he tried to explain it to me. And it's something that you just have to kind of experience yourself, but you can feel it. You can feel that muscle kind of unraveling, and you feel a little bit of tension and contraction and release. So immediately, I could feel it, and it felt like it was releasing, but also felt a little bit sore. So didn't hurt while I was laying there. I didn't feel any weird sensations other than just the heaviness. And then this one back here. Allergy season is still in full force at our house. So when she came back to check on me, she just asked me how I felt, and then she began taking the needles out. And then she said, get dressed, take your time. And so she left me alone again, and I had plenty of time to kind of just like lay there and rest for a second before I got up and got ready. She gave me some water. And then just general instructions as I was leaving, extra hydration, no exercising for the rest of the day, and just kind of let me know how I might be feeling. So so I got dressed and I left, and so I scheduled my next appointment, which is in next week. So I'll do an update then. But I didn't feel super sore today. My shoulder, it felt pretty tender yesterday, but at the end of the day, it really felt fine. I worked out today, I taught classes, and I feel like I have a little bit more mobility in it. My hip feels a little bit better. I slept really good, and kind of that like deep, truly heavy sleep where you're really asleep, not like half asleep. And so when I got up this morning, I could tell I was a little bit more groggy than normal, and it took me a while to kind of get everything going, but coffee always helps. So that was one thing that I noticed significantly different, is that I felt very rested, but I felt very tired this morning. But then as the day went on, I felt normal, and I felt really good today. But migraines will probably be something that, again, will be like in a later video after I get a couple more treatments, and then that time when I get them during the month happens, just seeing how that works in conjunction with the essential oils I've been using, and then just like cutting out medicine for treating those. So yeah, I feel really good today. I had a really good experience. I think it makes a huge difference when you try something new like this, especially something that is as kind of personal as acupuncture. Everyone's going to be doing different things and going for different reasons, but to have someone who explains, even if it may seem like over explaining, I think is such a big thing, and is so important, because the more information that I think the patient has, which was me in this case, I really felt more relaxed, more comfortable, which probably I would think would facilitate a better result with treatment if you feel relaxed and you feel informed and safe, which is something that, as fitness professionals is so important to so many of us, and that we try to do with our clients, that we answer your questions and we make you feel comfortable, and we make you feel that you are in that safe space. And so that was a big thing for me, and I loved that this particular acupuncturist really took the time to detail things and then ask me how I felt. And sometimes I think when I ask my clients those things, like, how are you feeling, how is this feeling, they may get a little like perturbed every now and then, but you know, I think it's important to ask and just to check in. Not everybody needs that, but some of us do, and it's important. So that was my first acupuncture experience. I think I covered a lot of things, but if there's something I didn't cover that you're interested in or you have a question about, let me know. So normally, again, I don't want to say what's typical for everyone because everyone is going to be different, but usually a week or a couple of weeks in between treatments for me is what seems like is going to be the kind of sweet spot for a while. So like I said, I'll go next week, and then maybe another week or 2 weeks after that. I don't expect to go long term for the reasons that I'm currently going for, but I think for things like the hormonal migraines and just that general kind of sense of well-being, if that's something that I see a big difference in, then I will probably continue to go just as part of my self-care. So yeah, I hope you found this video a little bit informative if you have been thinking about acupuncture or curious to try it. I'm excited to see how things develop over the next few weeks. So I think that'll be really telling is how I feel after multiple visits. But for a first timer, it was a good experience, and I will check in with you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.